Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I hope that you don't find my reflection here really distracting. I am sorry, but the light outside is not cooperating with me today, so this was the best setup as far as lighting, and you're just going to have to deal with seeing my bobby head in the background. So today's video is going to be on ethical fashion purchases and just understanding a little bit more about the ethics behind the fashion industry and how you can know more about it and make more conscious purchases when you are buying clothes for yourself. And also some tips on how to style up outfits with what you've already got and the types of colors and things like that that would be easier for you to mix and match things. I hope that that makes sense, but I'm going to stop blabbing and let's get into the video. So the first thing that I'm going to say is, even though I've said this before, if you haven't already watched The True Cost, it's a documentary on Netflix. I suggest that you go and watch it right now, or at least after this video. It's all about the truth behind the fashion industry and basically shows you exactly what's going on and how your clothes came to be and who had to suffer in order for you to get that item of clothing. It is really quite sad. I cried like twice during the documentary. It was actually really eye-opening, and it's just like I had no idea. And I've always been that real bargain hunter, and I always thought it was a good thing. Like, I thought I was really good with my money and I would always find the cheapest place that I could get the cheapest stuff on sale. And after watching that documentary, it changed my views completely. So I don't know if any of you would already know this about me, but I used to hoard clothes like you wouldn't believe. Like, I still have stuff in the spare bedroom that I wore when I was 15 and I'm now 23. I'll be 24 in December, so that is a really long time to hang on to clothes. But I was always that person that was like, oh, you know, everything comes full circle, everything comes back into fashion. I will eventually wear this one day, or I might need it for a costume, because I used to do a lot of like theatre stuff. And I just hung on to a bunch of stuff, and sometimes it can be a good thing and sometimes it can be a not so good thing. The not so good part is you really need to focus on detaching from useless crap. Stuff that you're not using, that's just taking up space in your life. Stuff that you know you won't wear but you have some sort of emotional attachment to, which is kind of silly in the scheme of things. But then the good side of hoarding clothes is, like I said, fashion comes full circle, things do come back in fashion, and if you make smart, conscious purchases, you can buy things that will last you years and years and years and never go out of fashion or be a timeless piece in your wardrobe. So my first tip for making more conscious purchases are, firstly, looking for brands that have the fair trade certification on either their website, or you know, they have it written somewhere that all of their clothing is fair trade, is made in a friendly, well looked after environment where the people are paid a fair wage and there's no children working, and etc, etc. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because this video will go on forever. The other thing to bear in mind is that it isn't just about where it comes from. You also need to be mindful that with the current fast fashion industry, basically, if you think about like fashion as a whole, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you think about that as a whole collective fashion style. So the 60s as a whole style, that's a whole decade, 10 years of very similar style, very similar colors, that sort of thing. 80s, 90s, you think about it as a decade. What do you think about when you think about the last 10 years? I honestly couldn't tell you one trend that has lasted for the whole time. They're basically saying that now trends only last about a fortnight. So brands like H&M, Forever 21, things like that, they're bringing out new clothing every fortnight So the trends are forever changing. So you buy the latest trends, but then next week or the week after, something else is in and something else is on trend. So then your clothes now don't feel like they're on trend, so you need to go and buy more clothes that are on trend. And it's just this really vicious cycle in which they get you to buy more stuff. It's all a big, you know, money thing. So they're trying to cut the cost of clothing to make it, you know, more inviting and more affordable to people like us, but it's at the expense of other human beings who, some of them have like even died because of the big companies cutting the costs of, you know, a t-shirt. So instead of the t-shirt being $20 and made fairly and the person who makes it is happy and healthy, you're getting a $5 t-shirt where the person works 16-hour days with their child with them and the building is collapsing around them. And they have no choice but to work because that's their only source of income, and they have to suck it up and they have to do those things because they need the money. But yes, the other thing that you need to be mindful of is that because the trends are changing and you're constantly buying new clothes, you're not wearing all of the other stuff that you've bought. You usually wear something once and then you feel like you need to buy something else. So then everything that you don't wear, you usually will end up donating it to an op shop, but then the stuff in the op shop that doesn't get sold then goes to landfill. And the fashion industry is one of the leading causes of landfill. There is so much fabric and old clothing going into landfill, and it's something has to be done about it. So the best and most sustainable way that you can shop is by secondhand shopping, is by going to said op shops. And now, bearing in mind everything that I've said, the op shops or charity shops or thrift shops, whatever you like to call it, they are filled with really awesome stuff because, like I said, people are throwing away something after wearing it once. So every time I go shopping, I find something that is from a really nice brand, it's in mint condition, it is still stylish, and it's super affordable, so it's kind of a win-win. The next tip that I have for you is basically trying to be more mindful about your fashion purchases as far as how are you going to style it firstly. So if you're buying a t-shirt, let's say this t-shirt I bought from a secondhand shop a couple of weeks ago, and before I purchased it, I thought to myself, what's this gonna go with? How am I gonna style it? How many pieces in my wardrobe will match these colors? So this top's like white, gray, and like a peachy pink stripe, and it's actually quite on trend at the moment. And like, this was brand new, it still had tags on it. No one had ever worn it. These colors are very on trend at the moment. They go really well because they're sort of more neutral, so you can wear it. I can wear this with white jeans, I can wear it with light blue jeans, I can wear it with dark blue jeans, I can wear it with black jeans, I can wear it with high-waisted denim shorts, I can wear it with, I got a high-waisted like beige corduroy skirt which would look really cute with this tucked into it, or like tied up in a little knot or something. And even like denim jacket over with some leggings. Like, you could really style this any way that you want. And I think that that's the real key as well, is buying things you know you will get wear out of. Buying stuff you know will match the stuff in your wardrobe. Buying stuff that will be timeless. I'm not saying that every single thing you buy has to last you for the next 20 years, but I think it's really important to just think a little bit more before you buy, because there are some things that I've bought back when I was a teenager and I thought it was so cool at the time, and I loved it, and I wore it once. And it was like the novelty wore off and I didn't love it anymore and I never wore it again, and it's like, did I really even love it that much in the first place? Did I really think about when I would wear it and how often I would wear it? And I think that, you know, we're so focused on getting stuff cheap that the quality is not there, so even if it is really nice, it's only gonna last a couple of wears. Whereas if you do spend that little bit more buying from quality brands with good ethics or quality secondhand stuff, you'll find that the stuff will last you longer. You're gonna think more about where you're gonna wear it because it's a little bit more expensive. You're not just gonna be like throwing your money around. So basically what I like to do with my wardrobe is most of the clothing items I own are neutral colors. So stuff that will just go with everything, and colors that are not necessarily on trend but will look trendy. So things like obviously black, white, grey, beige. I really like things like khaki as well, and navy, because they add a little bit of color to your outfit without being too out there, and they still go with everything. Like you can wear navy with red, with pink, with white, with cream, with beige, with black. You can wear khaki with like white, cream, yellow, orange, red. Like you can really kind of have a play with it, depending on what your style is and what you like. But I still think it's nice to have a pop of color in your wardrobe occasionally, just a few little pieces, but stuff that will go with everything else that you have. So I think having staple pieces, so having like a pair of black jeans, a pair of blue jeans, and if you want to, maybe a pair of white jeans, just to mix things up. They will go with everything. Then you've got things like a good pair of high-waisted denim shorts that will go with everything. The other thing that's really good to have is a good denim jacket, a good faux leather jacket. I find my faux leather jacket goes with everything. So you can throw it over anything and it just makes you look so much more put together and classy and cool, and I just think that they're really handy to have as a sort of staple in your wardrobe. I also think a good parka coat and then a good dressy coat, so like a trench coat. So I have a grey coat and I have a camel coat, and they just go with everything and they look so classy, and they're really good for Melbourne winter. I mean, if you live in a warmer climate, you probably don't need coats necessarily, but I've got my parka coat, which is navy and has a hood, and the hood has like black fur, fake fur around the hood, and then the inside has this like lining which feels like a teddy bear. It is amazing and it is so warm and it goes with everything. Like, and the reason I went for a navy one was because I normally would wear black jeans and I don't like all black. I like to kind of break it up, so I'd be wearing black boots, black jeans, and my navy coat, which has the black on the hood, so it ties in generally with whatever I wear. But I also wear that jacket with my blue jeans, and you get the idea. Then the other thing is t-shirts are a really good staple to have. I have quite a few different colors. I have this one, I have a yellow one which I wore in one of my previous videos, I've got a blue striped one, a black and white striped one, a white one, grey one, khaki one, and then there's things like a plain black dress, a plain white dress, things like that, or like I've got a khaki dress, a plain navy dress, a plain grey dress, things that you can layer up. So I've been buying dresses that I can wear in summertime on their own, or in wintertime with boots and tights and like a long sleeve underneath and a coat or a poncho or something over the top. You've got to start thinking about the ways that you can style your pieces together all year round, or mix and match things. Like I've got a pair of overalls. I think overalls are really great, or I know in some countries they call them dungarees, but you know, I could wear them with this t-shirt, or I can wear them with any of my t-shirts, or I've got lots of like long sleeve tops as well that are like striped or plain, and they're really good for layering. And I think just stocking up on lots of basics, staples that will go with everything, and then popping in your blocks of color or pattern or whatever you like. But I think that it's so good to be able to mix and match things. I have a pair of black culottes and I can wear those with like my white sneakers and my black and white striped sort of loose top that's tucked in with like a red lip. But then I could do it with, you know, heels and a nice white cami and my leather jacket, and it looks really classy and I could wear that out somewhere for drinks. But anyway, I think that you get the idea, and I hope that this video was helpful. And like I said, if you want to know more about the issue with the current ethics of the fashion industry, watch The True Cost on Netflix. It's amazing. And just to reiterate everything that I've said, buy from fair trade, ethical companies who look after their workers. Buy from secondhand stores because the stuff in there is affordable, it's sustainable for the environment, and it's super cute, some of it anyway. And thirdly is using what you have already in your wardrobe and learning how to style it up. Making sure you have the right basics and the right staples in your wardrobe in order to mix and match. Also finding colors that work for you and clothes that you will get lots of wear out of and that you know you will wear again and again and again. And I think the key with that is if you buy clothes that you know will go with a lot of different things, you end up loving it for so much longer and you get so much more wear out of. Whereas if you buy something that you're only going to wear once that will only go with one thing, then it's such a waste of your money, of the labor that went into making it, and for the environment. And it's just so much better for you to buy stuff that will go with heaps of things and that will constantly feel new again because you're styling it up different ways and you're making it fun. The other little thing I want to quickly point out before I end this video is just to borrow from your friends and borrow from your siblings if you have any, and if you've got any old clothes that you're not sure about, like cut it up or sew it, or if you like the color but you're not so sure on the style, like have a play with it. See what you could come up with. You might be able to cut it up or tie it up or sew it up in a way that will give it new life. I also think that the renting trend at the moment is actually really good because you're able to still wear things once, but you didn't pay for it and it's only been purchased once by one person, and that dress is getting its money's worth, if you know what I mean. Like that dress is getting worn constantly and it's only one purchase rather than 50 people purchasing this dress to wear once, and then it ends up going into, you know, a second-hand shop or getting sold, etc, etc. Anyway, I've babbled on for far too long now, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that this was helpful and has inspired you to have a play with the stuff that you have in your wardrobe and just be more mindful about the purchases that you do make and have fun with your style, and you can still be fashionable whilst making conscious purchases. So thank you so much for watching, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!